Hey guys, my name is Krista Gay, and on eBay I am Summer Storm Fashions, and then on Poshmark I am Summer Storm Fashions, and then I'm also on Mercari and Bonanza and Etsy. But Etsy's normally where I sell most of my vintage books. But I wanted to talk to y'all today about how to get things for your online upthrifting businesses or for yourself for really cheap, like under $1. So I started up thrifting this summer when I was home in Vermont and I was working in New Hampshire for the summer. And I originally started up thrifting books, but then I got really interested in clothing. And so I started buying clothes for 10 cents, 25 cents, like really high end name brands. And then I started reselling them online. So I moved to New York City in August to start law school. So that's my main job is I'm a 1L right now, and I'm making this video to not only share with y'all, but to also procrastinate studying for my Civ Pro exam. So I just want to share with you how I get clothes for really cheap, why that's important, and if you're up thrifting. I mean, obviously, if you're buying really nice clothes for yourself, the cheaper a piece of clothing is, the more awesome clothes you can buy. And then also some brands and how that works out. So every time I go home to Vermont to visit my mom's family, there's two stores I go to all of the time. And I'm sure that you have stores like this where you are. They're not Goodwill. I'm actually not a fan of Goodwill. I think the stuff there for thrifting purposes is actually overpriced. In New York City, when I moved here, I was shocked at the cost of Goodwill. Pants start at $12 for like just basic Levi jeans or Liz Claiborne or other things like that that really aren't worth that much if you're up thrifting. I mean, if you're shopping for yourself, a $12 pair of pants is fine. I mean, that's what you would buy at Walmart and cheaper than Target. But for up thrifting, I normally have a rule that I won't spend more than $2.50 on an item. And that's because a lot of brands you're not going to be making a substantial profit on. What I've started doing more now is I look for really high-end name brands or brands that I know I can profit at least $20 to $30 off of. But it's also important to consistently sell items that you're making $7 to $15 on, because if you sell $10 items in a day, that's still $70 that you're profiting. And so the less you spend on the items, 10, 25 cents, the more money you're making. And then also, if an item doesn't sell for whatever reason, you can let it go at a lower price while still making money. So, as I said, wherever you live, I would just find the local thrift stores and find out what their dollar days are, or 10-cent days, or 25-cent days, which are my favorite. If you live in Vermont area or New Hampshire, there's this chain of thrift stores called Listen, and if you go on their Facebook page every week or every other week, they have a 10-cent day. So I just want to show you some of the stuff I got for 10 cents to encourage you to go and look at your local store. So something that always sells well for me is anything with cashmere in it. Even things that are damaged, like I recently sold a cashmere sweater that had a few holes in it. I mean, it's still cashmere. It feels awesome. So I'm not really familiar with this brand. It's Valerie Stevens, but it's 100% cashmere pink sweater. You can see it. Feels so great. And so this white tag that says that it's $8, which is still be awesome if you were buying it for yourself. At this thrift store, it's Listen, the one I was telling y'all about, it white tags that day were 10 cents. So I got this for 10 cents, and I'll probably sell it for at least 20. And then also for me, when I charge shipping, I charge the most I think it would cost me. I feel like buyers like that more than having to calculate it in, and I think that eBay actually charges buyers more than what it costs when eBay does the calculations themselves. So if it's under 13 ounces, I charge $3.75. If it's over that, it depends what it is. If it's a pair of shoes, I always charge $11.95, or a jacket, because if they live in Hawaii or in a foreign base or something like that, it may actually be cheaper for me to send it flat rate, which with the eBay discount is $11.95. So shoes I always charge $11.95, but if they live in New York City with me or they live locally, I might just send it priority because that's cheaper and that's only $6, so I profit $6. I don't do that to make money off of the buyers. I do that because I charge the most it would possibly cost me to ship so that I can charge a flat shipping rate. So this is really light, so I would charge $3.75 for shipping and I'd probably get at least $20. Always go on eBay and look up the exact brand, whoever has an item number, and see how much it's been selling for. Poshmark, always try to find the original item, and then I usually do 80% off of the original price if it doesn't have tags. So cashmere sweater, 10 cents. Awesome, right? I think it's great, and it's not listed yet. So another thing that always works awesome for me is anything, that's still in good, like new condition. I mean, obviously I run a lint roller over all of my stuff, and if it doesn't have tags, I always wash everything first. But anytime you see anything that has tags on it, get it. So this is it's kind of like a double bonus. So get things that have the original tags on them, especially if they're like really high prices, because then you can ask more. It's also worth more because no one's worn it. Also, the bigger the better, especially in women's sizes, because we women, we deserve and should be able to find clothes that make us feel good about ourselves and feel confident, especially professional outfits. And sadly, it's difficult and expensive if you're a plus size woman, especially the higher the size goes, the more difficult it is to find good clothes. So whenever you find plus size clothing in really great condition, snag it because it'll go. Most of my plus size stuff that I list sells within a week, usually a few hours actually, and they're really awesome returning customers. So this is a Talbot's suit jacket. It's not full suit, just the blazer, size 22, and it has the tag still on it. So it's size 22. Can you see it? But here, let me see if you can see this tag. It's $189. Tag still attached. Oops, sorry, where's the camera? See, great. So I would list this, put it for 80% off, and still make a lot of money because in New York City, the only thrift store thing I do is the Goodwill bins over in Long Island City and Queens, and it's nuts. I see all of these accounts I follow on Instagram of people who are like, oh, I'm going to the bins, and they push their cart between all the bins, and it's this awesome experience. No, like, the Goodwill bins here in New York City are nuts, flipping nuts, okay? These people get there hours before they line up. The guy comes out, gives a spiel about how you can't run or anything, and he says go, and these people just flock. I have videos of it on my Instagram account at Summerstorm Fashion, and it's nuts. Like, it's not even enjoyable. So I usually go later in the day when there's only a couple bins left to try to find things, because I'm not about 100 people stampeding. I'm in law school, and all I can think is that's a vicarious liability case or a tort case waiting to happen, and it's just not fun, and there's no carts, and the people are in a bad mood, and it's just, I just bring 2 suitcases home when I go back to Vermont, and I just stock up on items. So but it costs, with my student discount, it's for textiles, I think it's $1.16 a pound, and so this probably cost me like $1.50, and I should be able to get like at least $60 for it. So again, plus size and jackets and anything new with tags. Still need to list that too. I didn't bring my mannequins back to New York City with me. I left them in Vermont because I really need to be focusing on my exams. So I haven't listed anything in like 3 weeks. Okay, once again, this was 10 cents. Ann Taylor and Loft always sells really well for me. I can probably easily get $18 for these pants on eBay, maybe $15 on Poshmark. It really depends. Ann Taylor and Loft is a good brand. The only thing that's tough about things that are under size 6 is that I can't put them on my mannequin, or I do, and it's like really tough. So I just have to hang this. But so yeah, remember, get white tags, Ann Taylor or Loft. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about is shoes. Shoes are becoming my new obsession. So those were some things that I got for pretty cheap. So Goodwill outlet bins, if you're brave enough, where you live where they're really nice, new with tag items, cashmere, and find your local thrift store. But shoes, they're really becoming my thing because people are willing to pay more for shoes. Because I don't really know why, because personally, I'm willing to pay more for an outfit, but shoes are important. So let me talk about these. So this, oops, sorry, camera's reverse, is a pair of Ann Taylor heels. I got, again, Ann Taylor is an awesome brand. And so it's kind of like snake skinny. It's not snake skin, but if I was, and it's this like cool maroon beige color, Ann Taylor. So just some things I want to point out about shoes. These were also, when I went to the thrift store back home, it was blue tag was 10 cents. These things only cost me 10 cents. But what I do, because you're like, oh, hey, Chris, like the bottoms are kind of worn. That's fine. Just get a Mr. Clean Magic eraser brush and just scrub off the bottoms. And then also, no one looks at the bottom of the shoes. I mean, if they're in awful condition, that's a problem. But for me, if I'm buying a really nice pair of used shoes offline, if the bottom is rubbed, as long as I know about it, I'm okay with it. It's the integrity of the shoe that's important. And I don't know why, but this had like stickers and stuff on the inside, so you see all of these like white stickers. Just use that Mr. Clean Magic brush eraser to get it off. If something's really stuck, it's better just to have a sticker on the inside than a ripped shoe. But I should probably, for these, I get paid 10 cents. I can probably get at least $25. And the great thing about shoes, again, is I charge $11.95 for shipping in case it goes to Hawaii or somewhere else. But it usually doesn't cost that much. So it'll probably cost me $7 to ship it. So that's like an easy $25 profit right there, even after eBay and PayPal fees. So Ann Taylor shoes, awesome. I also got these Birkenstocks at the bins. They're in great condition. There's no wear on the bottom. Even on these inside, you can't really see the footprints, you know, like when you wear sandals, it becomes like molded to your foot. But Birkenstocks are always great, and I haven't sold them before, and I haven't done a lot of research, but because these are only like £1, and I bought them at the Goodwill bins, it cost me $1.16, and I should be able to get at least, I don't know, like if I say a number, you'll probably look it up on Facebook and be, or not Facebook, on eBay and be like, oh, it's worth more, but at least $20. The other thing too is just because it's winter right now, still with sandals, I just sold a pair of Nine West, another great brand, wedges that I've had for months. And I was like, oh no, it's winter, no one's going to buy it. But it shipped to someone in California, and I just sold a dress to someone in Hawaii. So the other great thing that you can do is get shoes that are like funky and fun, because, you know, eBay, I think it's always going to, at least for my generation, have this not stigma, but when I hear eBay, people are always like, oh, you know, you can buy anything on there, even, you know, a lung or whatever. And so people go on there to find things that they're not going to find in most stores. So if anything's funky, like these boots, oops, sorry, like these boots, get them. So it's a cheap brand I haven't heard of before, Wild Rose. But because they're, you know, fun and spunky like this, I'll probably get at least $15 for them. And again, like, any defects mention it, but the shoes just have a sticker I need to take off. I don't understand why some stores put staples in shoes. That's a tougher thing to deal with. But yeah, some other brands that work really well for me is Nine West for shoes. I usually sell the heels, even if they're, again, if they have wear on the bottom, just be honest about it. If they're dirty, you know, just take a scrub thing to them. I prefer Mr. Clean. But Nine West shoes, Ann Taylor. I'm not a big fan of J. Crew. I mean, J. Crew's one of those. Here, I'm getting a pair of shoes. I wasn't planning on showing these. But J. Crew's one of those brands that everyone's like, oh, J. Crew, like, so awesome. It just doesn't work well for me. I don't know why. Banana Republic is another brand where if it's 10 cents of J. Crew or Banana Republic's 10 cents, I'll pick it up. But I spent, when I was in Arkansas, I broke my rule of not spending more than $2.50 because I was in a really nice thrift store and I was like, oh, here's a Banana Republic suit and a J. Crew suit. I spent $15 on a J. Crew suit, brand new, because I was like, oh, I should at least be able to get, $75 on this. This is a J. Crew suit. They're usually almost $400. Had it listed for months, not a single watcher, only 30 views. I go through and I make sure the pictures look nice and just not selling. Same with Banana Republic. The most I usually get for a pair of pants is $12 plus shipping. I mean, that's still nice because if I only paid 10 cents, I'm still profiting right around $10, but it's not something I get wildly excited about and definitely not something I'm going to spend more than a few quarters on. But I did get these J. Crew flats. I bought these at the bins. They weigh less than a pound, and so they cost me under $1. These shoes, the bottoms, you see how they're nice and not black? You see how there's a little black mark there? When I bought these, the entire shoe bottom was that gross color. I don't know what happens at the bins. I don't want to know what happens at the bins. I respect people who wear gloves there because you never know. But just because, oh, there, the bottom of the heel. See how it's all that black color? So just because you see something, if you're spending less than $1, it's not a big investment. So you can take some chances. But me spending $15 on that J. Crew suit kind of did me in, and I don't plan on breaking my my rule on not spending more than $2.50. And I'm used to buying things for 10 cents and a quarter, and it's even a stretch for me to go to the bins. $2.50 is a lot. I mean, that could be 25 items. Other things, sometimes there's thrift stores where they'll have certain sales where you can get a brown bag and do it, but the most important thing is to really look local. You got to remember Goodwill's a corporation, and so they have money higher up that they have to spend. Even though it's a great charity that does a lot, if you're looking solely to make a profit, I'd rather wait to go home to Vermont, every other month, and I bring 2 huge suitcases with me on Amtrak or the bus that I take there, and I'll just stock up. The only thing that's tough is I'm going home for Christmas, so I have to bring all my inventory home, and so I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But yeah, I think that's it. So anything plus size, Dress Barn does a lot of great plus sizes. Alfred Dunner. Some people call it a grandma brand. I think they have really nice sweaters that if you're working in an office look professional yet cute. So those always work well for me. Yeah, those are just some brands I like, and again, anything Loft or Ann Taylor. And if you have any brands that you like, or if you know how to get things at a pretty cheap rate, I'd love to hear. Again, I'm on Instagram at Summerstorm Fashion, and then I'm also on Poshmark, which is becoming my favorite. So if you guys have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to be distracted even more from studying. No, really, I'm doing fine studying. I just needed a break, and I left my mannequins at home. So, all right, thank you all so much for watching, and if you have any questions, just let me know.